podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Christian Moore back to Jack Goodchild on the blue line. He manages to get it wide to Jacob Minter. Jack Goodchild with the shot, and the Slough Jets have taken the lead on the power play with 23 seconds remaining. As Jack Goodchild is Kane Russell with the shot cross goal. No need for a save from Lorday. And Campbell has found himself in, and it is 3-1 to the Johnson Chieftains. They have hit back quickly. Hello and welcome to Zero Pucks Given, the UK ice hockey podcast, hosted by me, Ben Hyde.
And me, Katelin.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all good. How are you, mate?
I'm good. You've had your European adventure.
I have, and it was all worth it.
And you survived?
Every single trip. Barely. My liver is still not sort of, it's still recovering, put it that way.
As it should. When you follow your team through Europe to do incredible things like Crystal Palace did, then yeah, absolutely, you should be...
Yeah, a lot of tears were shed, I've got to say. Germany had one emotional drunk Katelin on a random Wednesday night in May.
Well, speaking of being drunk and emotional in Germany, we are kind of in the early stages of discussing a ZPG Euro trip for next season to go and see the Birmingham Indians, who have been promoted now to the Del 2. And there's a few people that have indicated that they'd be up for that for a little, a couple of days out there, go and see a hockey game.
I'd be up for that. I'm always up to get out the country, to be quite honest.
It's exciting times.
Yeah.
But and also exciting times in the NIHL South Divisions, because obviously the signing news has been relentless.
Yeah, non-stop.
Particularly from the South 2 clubs now, they're really starting to ramp it up. Particularly the MK Thunder, they've had a very busy couple of days with their releases. And then we've had some pretty incredible news today that we will be having another Basingstoke Bison team in NIHL 2. So we'll be having Bison 2.
Which completely changes league dynamics.
Massively so. There is one issue with it, like straight off for me, straight away, which I think has already been raised by Anthony Russell online, is the name.
Yes.
I'm not down with that.
You're not?
No. I've never really been particularly down with something 2 anyway. I agree with the team having its own identity. You can be part of the same club but still have your own identity if it's like because it always was almost like a synonym, because it's the Buffalo. The Buffalo are the second team in Basingstoke, and that's still a big 4-legged, hairy cow-type animal. So it's kind of in the same ballpark. The whole 2 thing, I don't know what it is about it. It just grates me a little bit.
Yeah, no, I do get what you're saying. Because it's just like, you don't really have your own identity. You are literally 2 of that team, which obviously that's the whole point. But I do think like the whole thing of like junior is probably better, but I don't think people sometimes want to go down that route because maybe them teams aren't junior setups. I don't know, like it's weird, but maybe it's not that deep. Maybe it is just, let's just name it Bison 2. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's something so simple, but maybe there isn't much thought into it. Maybe that's what the issue is. I
mean, identity wise, I suppose it does make it a lot easier because you can have all the same jerseys, or everything that way. Logo-wise, everything's the same. So I can understand that there's, that makes it easier. You drinking out someone else's cup? It's got A on it.
Yeah, I am.
Sorry for those of you that are not on YouTube with us.
I've got an A on it.
Yeah, a cup with an A on it.
Yeah, don't worry. It's just part one of the families.
But the statement itself was actually it was quite forthright, because I would have expected, although at this point of the off season, now teams are announcing signings, you'd be expecting confirmed news, but this was not we are looking to put a team in NHL 2. We are putting in a letter of intent. This is we are icing in NHL 2.
Which also, I think this is very late announcing. I mean, last time we did a pod, we thought this was it. Like, the teams were set, the leagues were set. this is a late announcement, and this I know the new season's still quite far away, but a lot of teams are very far ahead with signings and stuff. They must have known about this for ages.
They must have done. Cause, I mean, there's at least 2 teams in the Britain division who I know for a fact it's locked. Their whole roster is locked in.
I mean, to be honest, you hope most teams would be, because at this point you should have a team, because you've got to start training in end of July, start of August, and then you have friendlies in August and stuff like that. It's not just that, it starts in September. It's not like being in a team, you've got to prepare so far ahead. Like, I mean, the teams that were announcing players at the back end of last season, that's what every team should be doing, because you see it too often now where teams leave it too late. Club like my own, teams leave it too late and then they don't have a team, and then you're like, shit, then you've got to pull them out the league, and you don't want to see that happening with anyone. So they've clearly known about this for ages to announce it like this late on. They must have a few players, set up ready, because I think it's quite late to announce like a new team.
Well, I think it was about 10 days ago the Basingstoke Bison Ice Hockey Academy kind of announced that junior hockey would be going on in Basingstoke, and all that was going to sort of start coming back. And then we get this announcement about the Bison 2. That says to me that we are going to be looking at a junior team as such. These are going to be the top players from the under 16s, under 18s, and then potentially anyone else who, because there's obviously, because it's one of the oldest rinks in the country, there's a concentration of players that are close to that rink. And if they can not travel to play and play closer to home, they're absolutely going to do that.
Of course you're going to do that. I think the travelling's the worst part. You want to be somewhere close to home.
And to be fair, and what this does, which we say about numbers with the leagues, it kind of massively flies in the face of people dropping from NIHL 1 to NIHL 2 for a less busy schedule, because we're now looking at a team that potentially has 13 teams in this league. And if you're playing each other twice, that's 24 games. Now, in the Britain division, if we're looking at a team of 8 leagues and you're playing each other 4 times, that's 28 games. There's only 4 different.
What, 2 weekends?
Yeah.
2 double-header weekends. That's nothing. And also, like you see last year, the competition in South 2 is much higher than South 1.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
it's competitive right through.
Yeah, are you actually playing less, like, games? Because when you really think about it, you're probably putting more effort in them games because it's more competitive.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there were certainly times last season in the Britain division where you can kind of look and go, well, if Streatham have got a double weekend where they're playing Cardiff and Romford, they can take it a little bit easy. Easy,
exactly.
And on the flip side of that, if that same weekend, Streatham, Chelmsford and Slough are going home and hose with each other, they're going to go full-blooded over 2 nights, whereas Streatham had a bit of a weekend off.
Yeah, so, exactly.
And that does not happen in the Wilkinson division. Obviously, we know Lee Valley have struggled at times,
but they've still beat a few teams last year.
They still beat a few teams last year. Do you know, it is really competitive in that division. What I would think we would probably see is a potential movement of 1 or 2 teams now, because I don't think you can have 8 teams in the 1 and 13 teams in the 2. I don't think that works.
No, it doesn't. And I mean, if there were no moves this season, like this coming season, it has to be the season after, because you can't have 13 teams in South 1, but 8 in South. In 13 teams in South 2 and 8 in South 1.
There's potential there as well to make it very, very competitive. There's potential there to have 3 leagues of 7.
Of course there is.
Which would make it incredibly competitive at all levels, because you would then potentially, if you look at maybe Cardiff becoming, the top team of NIHL 2, then going head to head with, Peterborough and Guildford and Haringey down at that level, and then you've got, the likes of the Warriors and the Pitbulls 2 and the. Right, my dog's just jumped on the bed behind me. This one's a proper one for the YouTube fan base. This episode. But she's going to dig in and make it comfortable for herself now.
Bless her.
But they're you could then have 3 very competitive divisions. But obviously, I think with the way obviously the Steel City Showdown stuff is set up, you can't have 2 divisions in the north, 3 divisions in the south.
No.
because then it doesn't line up.
That affects that. And I know there was a lot of talk after about Steel City Showdown, like, is it actually worth doing again? And I know it's what they're going to do again, but I know there was a lot of, you know...
You know more than I do.
Oh, I don't know. I just think it will. Like, I can't see them doing it another way. Not this year anyway, because I feel like, again, they probably would have sorted that out, surely.
I must admit, I mean, on that, we're getting a little bit off topic, but I'm quite torn on that. I think it was from our last episode, or maybe the one after the Steel City Showdown, because we left it a few weeks, didn't we? It was after the national weekend that we came on, and I am a little bit torn between, you know what, give it a couple more years to really try and build it, or just cutting bait and saying, you know what, it don't really work. It's not generating the fan interest that they hoped it would. Let's just go back to North and South. If anything, go back to having 2 legs. It may be even best of 3 series finals. Yeah. Best of 3 series final. I would love to see. That's my dream.
I think that would be brilliant. That would be great. But yeah, I mean, like, I know we've gone completely off topic, but I don't know, I just feel like surely things like that, and I know that that's like basically a year away, but that will soon come round, and they surely have to plan these things in advance. Yeah, massively. So surely that will go ahead. So obviously the whole like league dynamic of having 3 leagues, it wouldn't work, obviously, if we had that to like go to. But it's a really weird one. Like, it will be good to see sort of how this all plans out within the next couple of weeks. Because again, surely it has to be, if anything was to change, surely it has to be within the next sort of 2 or 3 weeks, because it also affects like player signings. Like, surely if a team are going to go up, they would know by now.
Yeah, because if you're signed for, you know, Phantoms 2, for argument's sake, and you've signed to play in the Wilkinson division, that might be because, you know, that's
reasons.
Yeah, more suited to your life, or, you know, whatever. Exactly. And then if all of a sudden it's actually we've got to go up. And you might have a couple of weekends where you're going to Streatham and you're going to Chelmsford and you're going to Slough. And
you don't want that if you haven't planned it.
No,
you don't want that.
But yeah, like you say, I think, you know, we're lifting the Iron Curtain with the 10th of June here. I reckon you've got 20 days tops. I think 30th of June is the complete cut-off for getting all this stuff sorted. I mean, I'll say not sorted, announced at least. It may well even be sorted, but getting it announced.
Yeah, of course I mean, because as well, the fans want to know. Like, we want to know everything that's going on. So you can't leave it too late, but, you know, you never know. You never know with ice hockey.
No, I mean, unfortunately, I think as much as we all... And we are both big advocates of the top teams in the NIHL 2 coming up. You know, be it, you know, Phoenix or Phantoms 2 or Huskies or, you know, whoever to come up. We are big advocates of it. Unfortunately, is it going to change the landscape of the top 4 in the Britain division?
Probably not.
No, it's not. To be perfectly honest, it's not going to change.
It would add to the mid-table of NIHL 1. That's what it would do. It would make that more interesting.
It would, because as we've said, NIHL 1 is basically split into 3 divisions anyway.
It is, yeah. It always has been as well.
Yeah, so it would make the bottom 2 divisions of that more interesting and more competitive. But yeah, for the time being, you know, unless there's some serious, you know, influx of players from junior setups that all of a sudden just accelerate into being really, really good, or the import level goes up and there's a lot of money that goes into it. You know, if you're coming up from an NIHL 2, you're not going to really bother Chelmsford, Streatham and Slough, Invicta to a certain extent as well. But absolutely fair play to you for wanting to have a go. That's kind of like where that's why we're big advocates of it.
If you want to go for it.
Yeah, that's why we're big advocates of it, because we absolutely come and have a go, that's what the game's all about.
Exactly.
But the way that it's set up at the moment, for me personally, like you say, I think that they might actually go for it like this year, and have 8 and 13, and then spend the year.
It's ridiculous.
Planning different things, because we have been told that teams are already looking at potentially changing leagues over the next season or 2. So, you know, they've got a year then to look at how it sits. How does it play? Is it competitive? Is there enough games? Is there enough weekends off? Is there enough ice going around? Obviously, Bison 2 coming in. They're going to be sharing that rink with the Bison in the national division. So, you know, there's a lot of things that they can learn and a lot of things that can be discussed from it, and they'll have a season to get themselves sorted. But I think it all leads I think it all leads to me because obviously I value my own opinion so highly. Else, why would I not be doing this? But, I've said in the past, and we've done a full episode on it, and I can't even remember if that was when you were with us or not. But I think the whole structure needs looking at, and it needs changing. Yeah,
I think we've spoke about it quite a few times. I think just completely restart.
I think the National League needs to be conference.
Yeah.
And then that needs to be mixed for North and South. And then this idea of a Steel City Showdown, North versus South playoffs, that comes into play, and that would be brilliant.
Because as well, Steel City Showdown was a great weekend. It just there wasn't enough people there. I said it, we were very lucky D-side had both teams there. D-side bought the most. I 100% think D-side bought the most people. Obviously, that sort of was bound to happen. But you're in that big rink. You want that packed out for a finals weekend. You want it packed out. It just wasn't.
No.
So for Steel City Showdown to work, completely restructuring the league, having the conference, nationals, all of that, it would make weekends like that worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that Coventry weekend sells out every year.
Every year.
Regardless. So, yeah, if that becomes then like a North against South battle, and to be fair, there's players that play in the National League that might hear me say it needs to be conference and say, shut the fuck up, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Fair enough. If I don't, then I don't. But from a fan's point of view of the level that I enjoy watching, I just think that's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
But obviously, I might be talking complete shit because I tend to do that too.
With podcasters, Ben, this is literally our role, isn't it?
It's literally I'm put in as listed as a hobby. I talk shit for a hobby.
Talk shit about hockey, yeah.
But it's still, obviously, it's all interesting. It's all great talking points. And, as far as those teams go in the Wilkinson division, a lot of retentions, which is really, really good to see that.
Yeah.
Particularly with the players that stand out for the NIHL 2 teams. It's good that they're keeping hold of them. If they have an option to be able to two-way the league above, absolutely they should be taking that.
Because that's why, that's pathways.
Yeah.
That's why they're there.
That's how you can, improve yourself as a player and move on in your career. But things like that, we mentioned the Thunder to start with. One we will say about the Thunder as well, they ran a fantastic competition for their title sponsor, which was a really, really good idea. And it was it was £25 to enter. And that, just paying that makes you like a sort of a secondary sponsor. So you're going to be listed on their website and get some PR from it and whatnot. But then they were going to do a draw out of everybody that entered to be their main title sponsor, which they did. And all the listings were in alphabetical order. And we were so very close.
Were we?
Because it was the Working Solutions Recruitment Services company that won. So and it was in alphabetical order. So we were literally a couple of slots away from it being the 0 pucks given MK Thunder. But
could you imagine?
We'd have had to be biased, and I've always been so neutral on this podcast, even though I follow one of the teams.
We
that
actually would have had to be MK fans.
We'd have had to be MK biased.
I don't know how that would work though, with me being Oxford.
To be fair, I always think we actually are a little MK biased everywhere anyway, just because Tim and Lauren are so lovely.
I think, the people there are lovely, and also I don't know, I spoke highly of them last year because that they earned my speaking highly of them. That's you play well, you do the right thing. I will talk highly of you. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what I think, but that's what I mean.
Yeah, no, they've always been so good with us, and they've always been, said great things about the podcast, and always been so generous with their time and everything for us. So they've, like I said, they've really, really cracked out a lot of these retentions that they've had. Xander Robinson, I think for me, was a massive one.
Yeah.
A player who I saw a few years ago when he was at the Buffalo and was really, really impressed. And he's just sort of keeps ticking over, getting better and better each year. Potentially, I think this could be his last year at NIHL 2.
Yeah, I mean, he is an NIHL 1 player. I mean, I know they were the best when they were in NIHL 1, but he was their player that stood out all the time.
Yeah.
So whether that's a thing he just wants to be in MK because that's where he's used to, I'm not too sure, but he definitely is worthy of NIHL 1.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Corey Taylor, another retention. Corey's also got experience of an NHL 1. He was actually sort of two-way with the Chieftains last year. We saw him step out a couple of times for them. Rob Oxley, another good retention who played well for them last year. Hayden Hagger is just part of the furniture at MK Thunder.
I don't think he'll ever go anywhere.
It wouldn't look right, if they lined up and Hagger wasn't there in the 45. We've actually applied to be the own and loan sponsor for his celebration jersey this year.
Have we?
Well, we said how cool the celebration jersey is because it's just
I love it.
Stunning looking jersey.
I think that's just because I love teal as well. I've always loved their colours, but it is just such a nice jersey. So simplistic.
Yeah, with the white, the plain white with the name and the teal is fantastic. Plus, I live at number 45, and my mum and dad's last name is Hagger. So. So yeah, we thought we'd do that. I've never owned and loaned a shirt as the podcast, so I thought, you know what?
Have you not?
No, I've never
Okay,
done
so
it.
maybe you pick a player and then I'll pick a player.
Well, you can pick your own.
Yeah, of course. All these European trips, actually. Maybe not. No, I'm joking.
And then Joshua Blackwood was another one they announced as retaining. Josh made his senior debut with MK last year. He was one of the Haringey Hounds sort of youngsters. But yeah, stepped up with MK. Will Fry, very impressed with him. He's had a good season. They've kept hold of him. So they're looking very strong.
They are. Having loads of player announcements as well come out at once is just great.
Yeah, it gets the buzz going, I think.
Yeah, it gets the buzz going. And, I think I like their post because it said about how, their social media girl was, due time off. And it's yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then she just absolutely banged them out. And I'm just yeah.
That was a great post, that was.
Yeah.
There was a little spat toward, right at the start of the off-season. And I think it was started in the PWHL of, a post coming out that looks like a really serious statement, that's something bad. And then it goes on to say something like, actually, this is all fine, but we're doing this.
Yeah.
And it just really does. It's a terrible way of working, but it really does get a lot of social media attention.
You in. Of course it does. If a fan sees something that's oh crap, that looks serious, they're gonna
click on it and look, aren't they? So yeah, very clever, and it's great to see a lot of the clubs taking this kind of jovial attitude towards the social media, just getting content out there, keeping it light as well, not all, serious all the time, keeping it light and getting everybody involved in it, which is something we said on the last episode. We're so grateful that the players agree to collaborate on the posts about them signing for their club, because it it forces the podcast into their network.
Of course it does.
So then the people that follow them and know they play hockey can be actually oh, you know what, there's a podcast about my mate who plays hockey, let's listen. And that's what it's about. That's how it all grows. And it's terrific that the guys are able to do that for us.
Yeah.
Peterborough Phantoms, then, those fans, bless them, they were I'd go back about 7 days ago, they were having a meltdown.
Yeah.
A little meltdown.
Everyone was leaving.
Yeah. Connor Pollard, gone. Nathan Pollard, gone.
Gone.
Mackie, was it? It was Mac. Mac was another. McDonald, gone.
Gone.
And then they're thinking,
that's when you start getting worried. Yeah. Are we going to be all right?
But then all of a sudden, quick announcement that they were going to start announcing some players. Yeah. And then they started dumping them out. Ryan Bainborough back, in the posts, incredibly experienced. I may have listed him as uber experienced, which he messaged me and asked, does that mean old? I said, no, it means really experienced.
Sorry.
Jack Sansby is back there. James White is back there. And Brad Wright as well, also retained by the Peterborough Phantoms too. I think there's something coming out a little later tonight for them as well, maybe tomorrow. I did see a post earlier saying that they were going to be sharing a few more updates, which is terrific. There's been a couple more from the Phoenix. Matt Tull has been announced. And then just this evening, Stoodley, the goalie, has been announced as well. So that's always good to see. And then a couple from the Huskies. Petr Cech staying with the Haringey Huskies, which is really good to see.
It is great to see.
We said about Connor Pollard departing Peterborough. Well, that's where he's popped up. He's popped up at Haringey, and that's a very shrewd signing.
I'll tell you what, Haringey are going for it this year. They want it, and I'll tell you what, I reckon they could do it.
The league, I think the league is so hard to win in the Wilkinson division.
It is hard, but I think that's the way they're going. That is what they want. I mean, every team wants that, but the signings they're making, I think they're going to do very, very well this year.
They've kept hold of Jaden Balker, who's, for someone so young, is incredibly experienced. He was part of the Chieftain setup that made the playoff finals, 5-6 years ago when he was really young. So lots of experience. Courtney Grant, another really experienced forward that they brought back. So, they are looking incredibly strong. They're looking like they've got a really good blend of youth and experience as well, which I think is vital.
Yeah, that's vital, especially in that league.
Absolutely. I think that might be it for the
2.
So far for the 2. Aaron Burton was another one announced by the Thunder, another retention.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything yet from the Mustangs, which, notably, Mustangs fans don't seem like they're getting that worried about that.
No.
So
what
we could be getting
on?
just a big pop, just a big Mustangs dump all over one weekend of everybody that's coming back.
Maybe they might do just, that's the whole team. There we go.
Like what Swindon did when they joined the Britain division.
I mean, I'm not too keen on doing it that way, but I mean, it gets out like that.
Yeah, it certainly does get it out. There was a couple as well, because we were talking two-way pathways. A couple of lads announced as two ways between the Warriors and the Chieftains, which is the same deal as it was for them last year. George Beckett and Caleb Sheehan. Everyone knows I'm a massive fan of Caleb Sheehan. I will wax lyrical about him anytime I talk about goalkeepers in ice, to be perfectly honest. So good to see him back, and he'll be getting that little bit of two-way action. And obviously now with Ben Clements being the Chieftains coach, who was a goalie, having the likes of Brandon Stones there as well for a second season, I think is really, really good for Caleb and George Beckett. Just improving every year. A lot of time in the Chieftains roster last year without getting a lot of ice time. I think that will probably improve this year.
Yeah,
for him.
I hope so.
And another team that were getting a little bit worried because they were just constantly announcing players leaving was the Romford Buccaneers.
Romford, yeah.
Now, of course, their coach has also departed because he's now playing for the Bison.
Yes. So that to me, I was like, crap. Like, is this going to be another team that we might lose? But thankfully not.
No, and as I understand it, I've not seen a official announcement on it. I'm of the understanding that Scotty Davis is now the coach at the Buccaneers.
Oh.
Because he was there with Ethan as his number 2. There's on some of their posts, because they have now announced some signings, on some of their posts there's like a quote from the coach, but they're kind of not saying who the coach is.
Who the coach is,
so I'm just putting 2 and 2 together and saying that it's Scotty Davis. So if you hear this and it's wrong, send me a message, Scotty, and I'll retract. But to be fair, some good announcements for those. I mean, Harvey Briggs is a great announcement.
That's a great announcement. That is a way to start off your signings.
Another one's a little bit annoying for me. I've wanted Harvey Briggs at Chelmsford for as long as I've watched him play. Because he's a terrific player.
Yeah, he's class.
But there's no real announcement there about a two-way with the Raiders, so that could potentially be. I know he's got a young family now, so it could potentially be.
Yeah, so maybe it's I can't commit anymore.
Can't commit to the national schedule with the Raiders, so good to see him there for the Buccaneers. Donald Campbell also announced at the Buccaneers, again, similar to Hayden Hagger at Milton Keynes Thunder. It wouldn't seem like the Buccaneers without Soupy there.
Yeah.
And then Streatham have done a couple of announcements as well. Again, all fantastic retentions. Ryan Watt, their captain. Danny Ingoldsby, who was very, very close to being my favourite Streatham player on the post that we've had out this week. Very close to being Danny Ingoldsby. But Ethan Lane is another one that kept. And I think we waxed lyrical quite a lot about Ethan Lane last year.
We did. Like every year, he's just getting better. And I think you said a few times that's where he's like actually just growing into being a man.
It's so big. So big.
Yeah. Every part about the way he plays ice hockey and the physicality of it, he is just so good. And he fits in at Streatham perfectly. Yeah,
he fits their style, both offensively and defensively and physicality-wise. He perfectly fits their style. We have had a couple from Invictus. Mad Stone, Dylan Worthy returned. Luca Pascal returned as well. That's a really solid signing. But the one that really stuck out for me was the defensive signing of Migas Canis. I think that's a great signing. That's
a great signing. I think I said to you, like, that's huge. But it's like such a big loss for Romford, but such a huge gain for Invicta. That one shocked me. I wasn't expecting that at all.
No. If anything, I was expecting Migas to be full-time with the Raiders this year, to be fair. So,
when I saw he was departing, I thought, oh, he'll go up then. But yeah, that's huge for Invicta.
Yeah. That's a D-man who puts his body on the line every single shift.
Yeah.
But he comes up with points as well.
Mm-hmm.
He gets on the
scoreboard a few times.
Yeah, he's got this little burst in him where all of a sudden he'll just pick the puck up in the D-zone and go.
Yeah.
And he'll find himself up in Gretzky's office tucking it back to someone for a tap-in. And, yeah, that's great. If you've got a D-man that can do that, that's worth, 10, 15 points a season to you, which that can be the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Between, one place in the league. Cardiff Fire as well with a couple of announcements. Will Thilbert has returned, which is really good to see. And there was one more as well, one Cardiff one. Alfie Stone, really good player.
Yeah, that was someone you wanted to keep. You saw last year, like, just his talent, that you wanted to keep him.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be very happy with that.
They will indeed. I'll tell you what, I'll just check, live checking, because I think Solent have made an announcement at 7:30 this evening.
Oh.
Which we can check. And that is the return of Rory Martin-Edwards in the pipes. So, yeah, that's a good signing.
That is a good signing, yeah.
Rory's only 24. I didn't think he was that young, to be honest, but that's... Yeah, consider, and I'm not too sure. See, Mark Duffy has stepped away from Solent from playing now. He didn't play a great deal last year. I think he actually only played one game.
One game, and I want to say that was it the very last one?
I think it might have been the very last one as well, yeah. That's a great... If Aaron Taylor is again a Solent Devils player, that's a great little pair of goalies they've got down there.
Pair of goalies, both really good goalies. You can't really go wrong.
No, Rory's... The only times I've really seen Rory is when he's come into a game, halfway through because of an injury or because of the goalie being pulled. And he always slots into the game so seamlessly. He doesn't take any time to adjust to the pace or anything like that, which has always been really, really good to see. Because in Aaron Taylor, they've got one of those goalies that can literally win a game on his own.
Of course, yeah.
And I've seen him do it time and time again.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So that's great from Solent. But we're expecting, more and more stuff to come out from the Britain Division clubs over the coming weeks. So we'll have a little chat actually about that post that we put out about our favourite players from last season and try and discuss a little bit of what that criteria was for that. Because, to be fair, we haven't had any stick or any how could you possibly have picked that player. Actually, I'll tell a lie. We've had that from one person, which was your favourite Chelmsford player that you picked, who told you that you were wrong. Yeah.
Ross said, Katelin, you're wrong. I was like, how am I wrong? It's my favourite player, not yours. So if we go through top to bottom, we both picked Lewis for Cardiff. Yeah. I don't know. He was one of the first guests we had. He was like, it was nice to talk to him and all of that. But also, I think he's just, I'm not a player, but I think if you were a player, that is someone you want in the dressing room. I think that sort of made my decision for him to be my Cardiff favourite player. It was
similar for me as well, because it's more down to his personality than his playing ability for me personally, because he was the Cardiff captain for a reason. But when you are the captain of a team that's a young team and you are, let's not beat around the bush, you're getting dicked every week, to keep the morale up in the dressing room, that must have been incredibly hard. And I don't think there was anyone else in that roster capable of doing it the way that Lewis Stevens did it.
No.
So that for me is why he was there. So then on to Chelmsford, you went for Ross.
I went with Ross. Yeah, okay, that's probably my Oxford bias. I know Ross personally, have done for years. Like I said, I've known him for years, and he's just a great guy. He's just top.
But Ross messaged and said that you were in fact wrong to pick him.
I was wrong, and I should have picked
I was
Sasha
right.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. I went for Sasha Maltsev.
I was writing my list out to you, and I put Sasha, and I thought, I can't not put Ross. so I deleted that and put Ross, and I got shit for it.
Yeah, I mean, Sasha's just, like I say, we say about these young players that just get better and better and better every year. He's another one who's really growing into his man body now. He's getting man strength. His pace is incredible. His ability on the puck. When he, towards middle to the end of this season, where he was line one with the Bartlett brothers playing that centre role between them, man, he just slotted in there beautifully. I'm looking at the roster, announced for this year, and I'm thinking, how does these, you've got Ethan Hersant as well. You've got that, that American style coming. He's been playing in Sweden. And you've got Josh Cook coming over. If anyone's following Josh on Instagram, fuck me, is he working hard to get himself in shape for the season and really, really, set himself up. I just think it's going to make Sasha even better.
Better, yeah. I honestly, and when I don't put players, it doesn't mean like we don't like them.
Yeah, no, of
but
course,
let's just clarify. Sasha is, I personally think Sasha's one of like the best players. Just everything about him. He's just top. He's just top quality.
I think on an official level, we love everyone, actually. I don't think we've... I think we might have called Luke Smittle out for being a dick on occasion, but I think we love everyone.
Yeah, like, it's not that I don't like you or I don't rate you as a player. I picked Ross for my favourite. So, Sasha, it's not me saying you're shit or anything. No, but Sasha, honestly, is a top quality player. And like we've said, he's going to get better and better every year. And I think he'll continue to do so. But yeah, sorry, Ross, I've upset you. Sorry.
But then on to Victor, and I went for Madstone. I just thought towards the end of the season, he was notching hat-trick after hat-trick. And...
Correct.
Just so much ability, so much experience, and he seems to make the game look really easy when he plays, which I absolutely love that about him. And as backing up what you've said, there's a lot of guys at Invicta that I absolutely love as well. So that was actually quite a hard choice for me.
Yeah, I just went for Aaron Connolly because I felt like I was always raving about him last year. Like
he was
when
unstoppable, wasn't he?
Yeah, them two at Invicta is. That I think like they held that together. Like they were just both great. So I just thought, instead of copying you, I'll go for the other. Because I was thinking about it at work. I was like, it's either Aaron Connolly or Madstone. And I see you picked Madstone. I was like, well, I'm going to go for Aaron.
That was probably the case actually with pretty much every team. That it was a bit of an either or between two or three players for both of us.
Yeah.
Like two or three of the same players. Which Romford, we both went the same player.
Yeah. He's just a legend, isn't he, really? You just can't not pick him.
He's my absolute dream guest for 5.0. I would love to have Uri on.
We'll have to get him on.
It's very difficult. He's not really on social media, and I have tried reaching out. So what I'm going to have to keep my eyes out if he's at a rink somewhere, and I'm just going to have to collar him.
Oi, mate.
Yeah. On to Slough, it's exactly the same thing. I very nearly put Brandon Miles.
Yeah.
Just cause.
Just because, I picked Brandon because I just think, don't get me wrong, when being a fan and he's playing against you, you hate him. You do. Because you just think, all he does is fight, all he does is pit fights, blah, 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 blah. When you actually watch him play hockey, he's just brilliant. And all of, the run he's had with trophies, and we actually jinxed that.
We jinxed it, yeah.
You power post saying, look at all he's won, he can carry on. He didn't carry on, but that's fine. But no, I just think as a player, and not even just as a Slough player, as a Stratton player, he is just such a good player. And do you know what? You've got to just love him that little bit because he's just brilliant.
Yeah, like I say, I was very, very close with this because he's someone who I now know personally. I'd consider him a mate. He's a lovely fellow. He's really, really happy for him with his new baby and everything like that. And the way he plays the game is just so exciting. So I was very close to him. But I've also said for probably the last 3 or 4 years on this podcast that I think Christian Moore is the most technically gifted player in the league.
Mm. Yeah,
So
no,
and again,
it's
someone
really
who
hard for Slough.
Yeah, nice and close with now. He's a nice fella. So
Yeah.
But yeah, Slough got so many good players.
Yeah, it's so hard as well because like when you sort of get into ice hockey and you know people personally, it's like you sort of want to get away from that, but also pick your favourite player based on the talent, but you don't want to also just pick it on because you know them.
Yeah,
it's really hard. So there was a few like juggling through from Slough, but yeah, I think I just you sort of process of elimination, and I just got like Brando was the last one there.
So heading down to Solent, and I went for the outgoing Liam Coleman this year. Because this was just on this year. Had it been in general, it'd have been Muzzer all day long, because I love Muzzer. He's my big bear man. I'd love to give him a big bear hug whenever I get to see him. But yeah, Liam Coleman this year has just had an incredible season.
Yeah, obviously he was their best player stats-wise, and I just think he was just insane for them this year. I think at like their lowest points, he was the one that kept them together. But no, maybe this is my Oxford bias coming through again, but Jack Peacock, it was just easy for me to pick. It was straight away. Yeah, Jack's a lovely guy, but he also can play hockey just so well. I think he's very underrated.
They had to rely on players like Jack and like Liam because there was some pretty low times at Solent last year.
That was.
When they were down in 7th in the league, and obviously with the rink shut for a bit, and they had to rely on these players.
Of course they did.
So on to the Red Hawks. We did just say very briefly that I was very, very close to choosing Danny Inglesby.
Yes.
I went with Ziggy because I just love Ziggy. He plays the game with a smile on his face at all times, and like his smile and his passion is so infectious. And he's like
also, he's a great hockey player. He's a great hockey player
as well. But if you ever meet Ziggy Beasley,
you wouldn't think he's a hockey
You would never think he was a hockey player. It's the last thing you would think about him. And the fact that he's such a good hockey player, that's why I love him so much, because you just never think he was a hockey player. But yeah, I was very close to Dingle, because Dingle was just fucking unbelievable player.
Yeah.
And again, I was hovering around the three of them because I love
there was a few. I think when you like going through the big teams, you're like, shit, there's like just so many good players. I don't actually know who to pick. So there was a few juggling around again, but again, process of elimination, I just went with Dylan Dix because I think going from Chelmsford to Streatham, that was a big move. But the way he slotted right in at Streatham, I don't know, it feels like he's been there for years.
Yeah.
Like when you watch, and he's just so... He's just such a good player again. I keep saying that about these players, but they are just good players. Can't help it.
I hadn't even then. It's literally just popped into my mind now, thinking I hadn't even considered Alan Lack, and and he was exactly the same when he joined Streatham earlier this year.
It was just that.
Just slotted in straight away, and
I think that's so important.
Yeah, so important, and that's something actually. I can only possibly think of one player that has gone to Streatham and not really settled and not lasted long and gone, and that was Ewan Hill. And I don't know what the reasons behind it were.
But sometimes you just don't.
But sometimes it just doesn't blend. But
yeah, you can be a good player.
99% of Streatham it does, and that's down to the coaching staff there and the players as a whole.
Of course. Like slotting in with a team, it don't happen all the time because you can be a good player but not fit a team style. And that's absolutely fine. That's not saying you're a crap player. It's just you're not right for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's that's team sports.
Of course it is.
Not sometimes not all the best players make the best team. So that's that works both ways there. So and then on to Swindon. You went with a little bit of Oxford bias again, did you not?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there was a few again. It was like between Ben Cluck-Leach, Jake Williams, and then who I went for, Will
Harding. Did Ross not tell you that Jake would not be happy with this? Ross
said Jake won't be happy with this. Just basically, everything I did was wrong, so I might remove the post because Ross is hating me for it. I mean, Will's a great player as well. He got a few goals in last year, so I won't be taking any slack from you, Ross. But yeah, it's just personally, like, my family get on very well with Will. He's a great guy. And again, you just gotta love the people that sort of were at Oxford. I have to.
Well, I went with Ben Clark-Leach because he was the only player in the Britain division who got a GB national call-up last year. So,
Oh, yeah.
which, and consider I actually watched him live like 2 days after he made his GB debut.
Well, I watched him a week before. I watched him play against Cardiff.
Yeah, and then you went to Edinburgh.
And then
you interviewed him.
Yeah. So I watched him play Cardiff Fire in Swindon. A few days later, travelled up to Edinburgh. But then I didn't get to watch him play because I went home on the Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, he played on the Saturday night, didn't he? And then on the Sunday night, he played for Swindon against Chelmsford.
It's crazy.
Yeah, terrific stuff that is. But now, and what we'll do next week, we'll put out our Wilkinson division players.
Yes.
Because now we're covering both divisions. We don't want to see anybody left out. We want to spread the love.
No, of course not.
We want to spread the love. Although obviously this is from 25, 26, so this is not going to include any Bison 2 players that might get announced.
No, because I didn't watch them last year.
I could probably go back from the last time I saw the Buffalo play, but I think my favourite player from when I saw the Buffalo play is now playing for the Bison again, I think. So yeah, that probably wouldn't work.
No.
So we've got that coming up. But then we've also got something else coming up, because there's a lot of people would remark about, since you joined the podcast and us doing this, people have said, oh, it's like you've known each other for years and you get on really well and you must, meet up all the time and do this. But we rarely actually see each other in person.
We've met.
I think it's 4 times.
How? Podcast festival.
Steel City Showdown. Oh, yeah, Steel City Showdown was only one day, wasn't it? So twice.
Yeah, twice. And I also, if you were there for the Saturday on Steel City Showdown, I wouldn't count those. That's one meet-up.
No, I'd count those too.
But we've met twice. But I think the thing is, we speak every week from September, well, it was end of September, to sort of end of April.
Yeah.
So, that's probably why.
Yeah. But we are actually going to see each other this Saturday, aren't we?
We are.
Because we're heading down
to... Before you say anything, I'm bringing the retribe hat.
You're bringing my retribe hat. Nick, how long has it been?
Which I've had. It's travelled back from Edinburgh.
From Edinburgh, yeah, since the GB weekend.
I forgot it for Podcast Fest, and I forgot it for Steel City Showdown as well.
But yeah, Saturday we will both be at the Hangar in Slough for the 4,000 and counting charity game, which, I mean, I could not even begin to start to even understand how you organise something like this.
Yeah. It's also such a good event. Like, I've been twice, I'm pretty sure. I've been twice, and it's just great. And I mean, this is where I'm starting to miss hockey. So having something like this is like, I'm going.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see hockey. But organising something like this, like you said, is crazy. And to do it all for charity is top notch.
Yeah, and do you know what? I think Nicky's got his fans, he's got his people that are opposed to his way of doing things, but you just can't argue with what this guy's done with his podcast over the years and setting up these charity days. And, this year it's raising funds and awareness for the Ben Kinsella Trust, which is something that I know a lot about as well. I've worked in the school that Ben went to, back in the day. I know a lot about the Ben Kinsella Trust and how it all works. Also for Heads Up Hockey, which is a really new initiative, kind of on a similar coattail to Retribe, just trying to get players and past players that kind of support that they need. And every a pound from every single ticket is going to Adam's Angels as well to help with the work that Aaron Rose has been doing since the passing of Adam Johnson. So all of this, going, he's got. Obviously his little black book of players is tremendous, and he's got a lot of friends that still play in the game. So there's a lot of players there. Some of the best from the National League, some from the Britain division, some from the Morley division. I know Big Graham's coming all the way down from Blackburn as well, so it'd be great to see Graham down there in Slough.
Yeah,
and it's just a fantastic event. Like you say, if you need your hockey fix, get yourself down the Hangar. And I'll tell you what, it is incredible value as well.
It is. You're getting how many games? Bloody
9 games.
9 games, and you're paying £16.
Yeah, incredible value.
That's entry to Slough Jets.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So
It
for one game, so you might as well. Yeah, yeah, it's cheaper. Christ, we won't even get into price increase this year. I can't imagine what it's going to be like.
No, I mean, that's something we'll probably touch on, at the start of the season, because
seeing all the prices.
We'll run through what everybody is charging, because there was an online conversation I was involved in a couple of weeks ago about it, and then someone sent me some WhatsApp messages to kind of fill me in on how it would be done, because it has to remain affordable. It has to, because
of course it does.
Look at what we're going to Saturday, and this is all raising money for charity as well. So you'd almost tolerate a higher ticket price because it's for charity. No one's making money out of this, apart from these charities. But £16 for 9 games is astonishing. So when we get into the season, and I know, obviously levels above us, there's been kickoffs, isn't there, about the Manchester Storm prices, because they're now moving to the AO Arena in Manchester, which is obviously an enormous arena, and I really, really do hope they fill it, but it's expensive.
Yeah. But then that's because they want to make money, and that's then the difference between, that's professional ice hockey. You sort of expect to pay more the higher levels you go, but there's also some national games that you're paying less than you would than in our league. That's mental.
Yeah.
To me, like you can't be charging more than a national game. I don't think in NIHL one.
No,
you shouldn't be.
No. So as we said, £16 on Saturday at the Hangar to see 9 games. And so I think it's 52 players. I think
52 players there is.
Yeah, I know there's been a couple that have pulled out through injury that Nicky's working really hard to try and replace, so that everyone's not doing sort of too much ice time, because of it's coming into pre-season. No one wants to get injured.
No one wants that. And at the end of the day, it's all for charity, so it's all good fun.
Yeah. But there's so much going on down there as well. There's going to be a raffle. They've got a signed Petr Cech jersey that's going in a raffle. That's not going to be auctioned to the highest bidder either. That's going to be raffled. Which I love. Yeah. You cannot beat a raffle, because highest auction, that's you are just purely making money through that. But I think raffles. Which, to be fair, if it's for charity and it makes a lot of money, that's great. But this gives everybody the same amount of chance to win it.
Yeah.
Which is what we've always said about with auctions, is it tends to be the same people every year that win auction jerseys, and it's all high money.
And also, some people just can't afford high auctions, because auctions get expensive.
No. They do get expensive, yeah. There's own and loan jerseys available, so every jersey that the players are wearing during the games, they've all been specially designed with the big 4,000 counting logo on the front, and they've Morsey's Mutants, this is going to test my memory now, thinking of all the team names. Morsey's Mutants, What Dogs, Hot Dogs, Scotty McMuffins, and there's one more.
There is one more.
Oh no, I've gone completely blank.
You've gone completely blank.
I've gone completely blank.
The Dirty Divas.
The Dirty Divas, that's it.
Yeah.
That is it. So they've all got specially designed.
Great name.
Specially designed jerseys. I think these are £70 own and loan jerseys as well, which if you're one of your favourite players is playing, I think again that's pretty good value for a specially designed jersey. They're normally jersey 53 as well, so they're really, really good quality. Which is really good to see. There's pucks available to purchase, which have got 4,000 and counting and heads up hockey on, which is another good little thing. And also the reason I'm going to be there is because it's going to be streamed as well.
Yes.
So if you can't get to Slough and you need your hockey fix, you can join us on the live stream. The guys from Romford are coming down to provide the live stream. So I haven't actually discussed it with the guys exactly who'll be doing what, but Matty Udall and Anthony Russell are with us. They are both very seasoned commentators. So I may just leave the commentary to them, and I might just present and introduce, because there's no need for my voice to go between those two guys. They're very, very experienced when it comes to calling games. Obviously, Matt Udall.
And I'll just be there.
Well, everyone knows how good you are at catching live goals through the plexi.
Yeah. Especially at Slough. I had a lot of it last year.
It is your special skill. But yeah, it's going to be terrific. We're so pleased that Nicky's got us as a part of it. It's the first time I've been in the country for it in literally 5 years, I think. I'm always on holiday.
Yeah, I'm so glad my holiday's 2 weeks later, because I think last year I was away for it.
Yeah, so it's so good that we're going to be there because it's just another part of which we've said on this podcast recently. You know, we all pump each other's tyres because we're all here for the same reason.
Exactly. And also, I mean, if you did have differences, you just put it aside for things like this. It's charity. It's all for fun. And like I said, great causes. So, you know, if you've got nothing to do this Saturday, go to Slough.
Yeah. So I think it starts at 4 in the afternoon. And
yes.
We've got 9 games. And they're not full 20-minute period games.
No.
But so it's like more of a tournament style to get through. There's going to be a round robin, then 2 semi-finals and a final. So there's so much hockey that you can take in quickly. Obviously, Slough's got the bar. They do some sort of baked potatoes and chips and hot dogs and stuff there as well. I think it's a great day out. Annoyingly, the weather's supposed to be stunning. But
when it's been shit this week, point blank crap.
That could have held on for one more day.
I know, it could have rained, but it's fine.
Yeah, well, you know what? If it's too hot for you, come into an ice rink. Where better?
Come into an ice rink, yeah. I mean, no better place to be on the earth, I don't think.
No, it's just terrific. And obviously, in the next episode that we do, we'll discuss all about it and how it went. We're going to be bringing you some social content from there as well. I think obviously the social content meter is going to be flying on Saturday because obviously we're going to be there doing bits for us to support Nicky. Zara from Streatham Redhawks is going to be there. Yeah. She's going to be doing she's got the 4,000 handle in her hand, so she's going to be taking care of all of that. Graham Hamilton's also going to be there from 4,000 and counting. So the social media stuff is going to be flying out.
Yeah, and Abby Cole is also there, although she's coming all the way down from Telford. So
Abby Cole, terrific.
Yeah.
And Simon Douglas there taking photos as well. So
it'll be like we're back at Chef.
It'll be like a proper Sheffield reunion.
Yeah.
But no, which is terrific to see. But no, I mean, I think, you know what, I'm getting really, obviously I'm so excited for Saturday, I'm getting really excited about the hockey coming back now.
Yeah, I'm missing it. Yeah, I am missing it, but then I also think that's because everything stopped, like football and ice hockey. This is where I want something back, and I think where I've had football recently, I just want hockey back now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, football is kind of back now. It's got the World Cup starts this week.
But it's like, I can't really be staying up till 3 a.m. to watch a football match. Like, I'm sorry, I can't.
Well, admittedly, you know, we did discuss the NHL briefly a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? You said you're not really kind of staying up and watching that. Yeah,
that's the thing. I can't really do it. I'll stay up late, but not that late. Yeah,
well, we put that post out, didn't we, about the NHL and the Stanley Cup final, and you went for the Vegas Knights, and I went for the Canes. But I said to people, people are sleeping on this Stanley Cup final. Saying Knights are going to win 4-0. It's going to be shit. It's going to be that. And I said to people, actually, I think this final is going to be fucking good.
It's going to be good.
And so far, do you know what I mean? 2-2. What a series it's been so far. I mean, the records that have been broken in this series with, like, you know, the 4-goal comebacks and all the goals in the last 10 minutes.
Insane.
And some of the goals, the style goal from laying on the floor and flicking the stick in the air. That was astonishing.
I wish I could stay up to watch it, but, you know.
In all fairness, I can't. I watch the YouTube highlights when I get up.
Yeah, I have to because I'd be knackered for work.
Yeah.
Working 6 days a week is not for the weak, you know. I'll give it to people.
Bless you. Welcome to the real world.
I know, and you know what? Can I just go back to school? I was complaining about it then, but Christ.
Oh, well. I'm sure it will get better from here on in. But yeah, so it's like a feast of sport now for the summer. So we've got this, 4,000 and counting game on Saturday. The World Cup then gets into full flow in the football, which, even though, I mean, I'm not a massive football fan. I know you love your football, but
everyone
I still love
loves
the World Cup.
Yeah.
I still love the World Cup.
I think someone that wouldn't even watch football, like a minute of football, they will get involved with the World Cup. It's just, I don't know, it's different.
But yeah, so much stuff coming up. And like I said, we're going to keep on top of all the signings, so keep your eyes on our socials. If you're not following all the clubs individually, you'll be able to see where all the players end up, because we will be sharing our own little special graphic of it if we can find a picture of you. So if you have been announced and we haven't shared your announcement, it's because we haven't got a picture of you. So send us a picture.
Send it.
It's such a... Who did I message? It was Corey Taylor from Thunder. I messaged the other day. I was like, bro, we have not forgot to announce your signing. I just cannot find a picture of you.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Or just upload some photos of you playing ice hockey to your socials so that I can screenshot it or Ben can screenshot it, and there we go.
So we're going to come back then, probably, it's going to be mid-July, I think.
Yeah. July's a busy month. Ibiza is being visited.
Is that where you're going? You're going to Ibiza? When are you going to Ibiza?
4th of July to the 8th of July. So only a few days, but, that's going to need a come down.
Well, I'm going to Mexico 6th till the 20th.
Oh, lovely.
So I will be in Mexico for the World Cup.
Oh my God, you lucky fucker. I didn't even clock that.
Yeah, well, funny enough, we're actually out there for my wedding anniversary, my birthday, and the World Cup final. So we're out there for all of that. But
brilliant.
Well, as most people know, obviously, that my daughter who's been my hockey partner, ever since we started watching. She's just finished high school now, so she's doing her GCSEs. Now she's finished those. Well, next Tuesday, I think she's finished completely. There, obviously, she doesn't have to go back to school, so we can get off and go on holiday before all the prices go up.
Prices go up, yeah. I'll tell you what, I thought that would be the same with Ibiza. It just isn't. That has cost me a lot of money for 4 days.
Yeah, you're a couple of weeks before the school cut off there, I think. So that's a good little shout.
Yeah.
So there's gonna have to you're gonna have to get busy on doing the player announcements when I'm in Mexico.
Send over the graphic, I'll get on it. Yeah, I'll be hungover, but I'll still be going through the content.
Well then, everyone, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah,
enjoy your summer holidays wherever you may be getting off to.
Yes.
And come and see us on Saturday. Come and say hello.
Yes,
come and enjoy some hockey.
Please do.
Yeah, so check the socials. We've shared a little link out that's got the ticket link in. When we get the stream link, we'll also share that as well, because obviously we know Slough's not close to everywhere. So, but if you buy the stream, you've got it on. You might not have time to watch all 9 games, but if you've just got it on, you can pick it up as and when.
Exactly. And, money goes to charity, so you can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong with a bit of charity. Love a bit of charity.
Katelin,
thank you so much for your time as always, mate.
That's all right, mate. You too.
Everybody, we'll see you soon.
See you soon.